technology, but to talk about the opportunities that technology offers. For quite some time, we've focused on the SAP market, and today's idea is to give you a context of the things that we are seeing are happening in the SAP context, and to share with you what we've done. Also, to tell you about the large areas where we can see there are many opportunities for our GeneXus community. Those of you who know me know that I started something like 20 years ago with GeneXus, and as it happens to many of you, in these 20 years we've gone through many transformations and technological transformations that have somehow changed the way we work and communicate, and even in our personal lives we've changed. What I've been able to live through is from my contacts with clients and things, is that there is a common storyline, a recurrent one, and it's that something that it takes up a lot of effort from companies when they have to face a technological transformation. And no doubt this is one of the most important concerns that computing professionals are faced with in their daily lives, and that is the fear of change. 30 years ago, when we started GeneXus, working with GeneXus, one of the pillars of computing at that time was IBM AS400 from IBM. Then Windows came up, then client-server architecture, then the use of internet became massive, and there were language programs, program languages. And then I think that one of the largest revolutions that we went through was in 2007 when iPhone started. Then in 2008, Android came out, and many transformations that changed the scenario at that time. Now, if we look now at what's happening, that hasn't changed. We are talking about machine learning, we are talking about blockchain, chatbots, I mean, many technologies, many words that mean new changes and new challenges. At present, those changes are occurring more and more quickly, and computing experts are wondering when will those changes have an impact on our industry, on our companies, and how we can be prepared to face them. Now, change is hard. We think that thanks to all those technological changes, GeneXus as a company has been able to survive in these 3 decades, because we live from that. Everyone is worried about changes. If you're not worried about things that must change, you're probably worried about changes that you haven't made. Our equipment cannot really deal with everything they have to do every day, and so they have very little leeway to innovate. And it's so difficult because it's so quick that it's difficult to keep abreast of everything. So we are trapped in that dilemma of wishing to innovate, and we have to innovate. That's the constant change situation, constant threats from the standpoint of technology. 6 years ago, we started focusing on the SAP market. In fact, we had been having GeneXus clients that were SAP clients who needed to integrate what we did in GeneXus with SAP systems. So 6 years ago, we said, let's look for a way. I mean, something is happening in this market. There is a technological transformation that is happening, and our first steps were to try and simplify the development of GeneXus apps that could interact with RP, the SAP flagships. So we became partners, we certified that, and all that was useful to know people in SAP, to know the partners ecosystem, the client ecosystem. And in the past few years, we've participated as sponsored in several important SAP events. This is a photograph I took in the third consecutive year that we sponsored the event. We were participants first, and now we are sponsors. This is an event organized in Orlando, attended by over 20,000 people for the SAP community. We've also participated in the SAP forum in Sao Paulo, in Brazil. Some weeks ago, I attended a very large event where you can be in touch with your partners, with the people from SAP, with clients. And we've also had to attend many partner events where we've been able to learn many things firsthand about this new SAP platform that is being promoted by SAP. In the past few years, SAP has changed its strategy quite strongly, and we could say that at present, the SAP market is going through those technological revolutions and transitions boosted by SAP itself. And what we can see there is that in our GeneXus capacity, we've got community, we've got a capacity that we can apply thanks to this change of a strategy that SAP is promoting. In their forum this year, they started talking about intelligent enterprises. The three pillars are their 7 products, among which RP, it's digital platform, it's cloud, and using HANA. That's one of the latest star products in memory base, and some intelligent technologies that under SAP Leonardo you can find in that platform. We're talking about machine learning, blockchain, analytics, and so on. So it is within this context that SAP at present is no longer a company, or doesn't want to introduce itself as a company presenting an RP or offering an RP, but offering a platform where we or anyone can develop applications. You can execute applications in this new platform. Now, within that framework, then, the clients of SAP ecosystems have several challenges ahead. We are saying that there is a very large client base with versions before the new SAP version, S/4HANA, and they've been able to build many apps tailor-made according to their own business. Many startup that is the language used to build things in the RP, and now they can see that they must learn many things, lots of technologies that are promoted by this change of strategy. Apart from that, we have a deadline, and the deadline is 2025. Some time ago, SAP announced that deadline, and they say by year's end, by in late 2025, they would start. They would stop giving support to previous versions to HANA, and that, of course, adds pressure to the client base to adopt the new RP and the new technology. This new platform is the one I was telling you. Is SAP HANA DB. It's a cloud platform. One of the important elements is the HANA database. In the past few years, they added all the intelligent technology components under the name of Leonardo SAP. Both partners and clients of SAP ecosystem must learn new things. They will have to learn new skills. They'll have to, someone in the team will have to develop things in Java, because that's one of the things is JavaScript, and they'll have to know how to manage a HANA database. Within that framework, then, what we can see is that there is a new technological transition where, in fact, to adopt those new changes, they'll have to start acquiring all these necessary skills to develop apps to be integrated to the ERP in this new platform. This is a summary of our vision of a SAP system at present. It's an ecosystem that is suffering a transition, it's going through a transition, it's having a technological transition promoted by SAP itself, and where, at the end of the day, because of our capacity of doing, we have the capacity to build on this new platform. The details of SAP Leonardo, stay on to Salvador Jimeno's talk. He's come down especially to tell us about the advantages and the options specifically in machine learning. Machine learning is in charge of SAP Leonardo machine learning for all South America, and he'll tell us more about it. Now, what have we done about this? For quite some time, and you've most certainly have heard it from our own people, that we are persuaded that to create apps at present is more and more complex. It's costly, it takes time, it takes longer, and when you want to make a new system, it's not just working with one or two technologies. There are things that you have to integrate. The worst thing of all is that software doesn't last long. So for 3 decades with GeneXus, we've tried to have the following vision: to simplify development tasks, to automate maintenance of GeneXus that we provide with GeneXus, and to be able to ensure that what we do with GeneXus will outlive these technological transformations. As you know, the code usually changes along the time, and there are new programming languages all the time. Now, if there is something that doesn't change very much, is the company's behaviors, the business rules, the data that they manage. Although they change, they do it in a more stable manner. Therefore, why do we have to go on writing codes in low-level codes? To write software in low code levels involves many problems, and one of them is it's difficult to change, and that we will have to change it inevitably, and at a certain point in time we'll have to rewrite it. So our approach in GeneXus has always been focused on users. It's user-minded. We've got the vision that users have. We try to represent through GeneXus the business rules. We try to represent through a logical model all those data that the company is managing, and then by using generators, we generate the final app in the platform that we choose. So the final code, the final app, is a byproduct of that logical product model. So whenever there is a new platform, we create a new generator that allows you to take what you were doing in GeneXus to that new platform. So if we keep on with that vision, and if you take into account the changes I've told you about in the SAP, we created a new GeneXus edition to accelerate adopting this new platform that SAP is proposing. And this is what we call GeneXus for SAP systems. This version was released in the event last year in Orlando. What we looked for was to simplify the development of software, which in this case will run on a new platform which SAP is proposing. So we are talking about an addition. It's the same GeneXus that we all know of and the way of working, only that this time is a new specialized version to generate applications with Fiori design system. You know, all the experience we have it's based on the design system proposed by SAP called Fiori, and obviously to work with a HANA database, to be integrated with RP, and therefore we have a certified connector, certified with SAP. And we've also added, this year, we've added a module that allows us to be integrated easily to all cognitive services exposed through SAP Leonardo machine learning. So we can cover all these possibilities, and we can build applications on this new platform. Luis will be addressing you at 3:30 on the 4th floor, the conference room, in further detail about this new version, about the things that we've added in the past year. So on the one hand, we have this context of the SAP ecosystem with this technological transformation. On the other hand, we have the tools that we've prepared to facilitate building apps on that platform. And now I think we are in a position to go over the opportunities, or at least the large opportunities that we can see on the basis of the experience we've had interacting with this new ecosystem. We must take into account that this ecosystem, well, many of the partners that have worked with SAP come from a world used to implementing an RP. It's a large challenge for those companies to start thinking that I must start working with these technologies, machine learning, Java development, whatever. So there is where we can see that our GeneXus community can have an impact on the real needs of doing things, because we have a capacity for doing. And the big important thing is to tailor-made development. Tailor-made development on this platform must take into account that there are many clients which are still in previous versions before SAP HANA, and from now until 2025 have already or will do it soon, will start migrating for the new SAP RP edition. But many things have been done tailor-made. In some way they'll have to rewrite it, or they'll have to redo them. And it's there where we can see an important opportunity to provide our capacity of doing. In turn, all this will have to be integrated to the RP, will have to be integrated to machine learning services, and all that can be done with GeneXus at present. There is no need to have a deep knowledge of all these technologies. As an example of this opportunity, I would like to mention Invensys. Invensys is a partner of ours. Apart from working with GeneXus, they represent SAP here in Uruguay. They have a lot of experience in implementation projects to implement RP, and for a couple of years they've worked quite strongly with us, and they have created their own web factory or team focused on development connected to RP, connected to this new platform, using these new technologies with GeneXus. So I think that they have very clear in mind that the large implementation projects have been modified because of this change of strategy that SAP has made. And at 17:45, there's going to be a panel where, together with other partners from our community, will be telling us firsthand the various things they've been doing in this ecosystem with the tools that we are offering at present. The other large area of opportunity is the question of integrating niche solutions. In our community, we've got many of our houses that have developed solutions for various business needs. They've got the tools right now to integrate it with the RP, or to be able to make those apps run on this SAP platform, run in this cloud region, by regenerating what they've got and with the tools that we are providing them with. There is an example here from another partner of ours that has taken up this opportunity. That's Valkimia. It's a software house from Argentina, working with GeneXus for quite some time now. They have specialized software in logistics and warehouse management. What they've been able to do is a commercial agreement with SAP sales team, Business One, and whenever a Business One salesman is faced with any opportunity, and he or she sees sees that there is an opportunity for Valkymia software, the SAP Business One salesman will sell the Valkymia solution. So apart from the technical integration that Valkymia has achieved, in this case with Business One, what they've been able to do is to envisage that opportunity to leverage their sales force with SAP Salesforce. Therefore, I think that this area of niche solutions, there are many opportunities because we've got many things already done in our community. The third point I wanted to mention here about this opportunity is co-innovation projects. Gisela, in her presentation early this morning, mentioned this initiative of co-innovating with our clients. This is something that SAP is using with as a sales strategy. It's a way to provide all these disruptive technologies to our clients, machine learning and so on, by promoting co-innovation projects. This is where we can see a large quarry of opportunities. Again, machine learning. Again, in SAP, among SAP partners, there are very few people who can do things in relation to these topics. And there, thanks to the facilities we provide by making the use of this technology transparent, we believe there are many opportunities. Particularly today, we are going to have Gerdau talking about the experience we are having with them. Gerdau is a steel company using scrap as its raw material. That raw material gets to Gerdau's plants, someone takes photographs, and it can determine the composition of that scrap. On the basis of that composition, the price is set to be paid to the supplier. Gerdau here in Uruguay and in Argentina have been working together with us, and also with Simplifica, another partner of ours. In all the talks that we've had, we thought about why not applying machine learning, image recognition for something that the human eye is doing. And let's do it more objectively. That is to be able to determine the composition of that scrap through machine learning algorithms. So that's why we are working on this co-innovation project with the machine learning team. So I invite you at the conference room on the 4th floor at 5 o'clock. Gabriel is going to be telling us about everything they are doing around this. So far, this is what I wanted to share with you about the opportunities. We are facing an ecosystem with technological transition that they are going through. We in GeneXus have all these tools to facilitate the development of apps, and we see these large three areas: tailor-made development, development of extensions next to SAP products, and these co-innovation projects, and the integration of niche solutions. But something new that I wanted to share with you before concluding, and that is a new project of co-innovation with SAP itself. And what we're doing here is working with the same team, a certification team for the connector, and basically we're going to have the stamp, the seal of an innovative project, and that is GeneXus for SAP system with all these systems of machine learning. Since we like this way of working a lot, of co-innovating with clients and with SAP, I wanted to invite you to co-innovate with you. At present, we've opened up this co-innovating project. Anyone with an idea or anyone with a specific business scenario, not knowing how to solve it with our technology, come up to us and see how we can innovate together and create an innovative solution making use of all these technologies. Therefore, we've got the tools to deal with these opportunities. I think that everything is set so that you can seize them. And please count on us. Thank you.